Oh, that LBO stuff's way over my head, Henry. I just can't follow it.
You don't have to. Bankers and lawyers work it all out.
Well, all I want from bankers is a new calendar every year, and all I care about lawyers is they're back in their coffins before the sun comes up.
That's James Garner again, this time in Barbarians at the Gate, a story of fast money on Wall Street in the 80s, and it will not be playing in your neighborhood movie theater, but instead on cable TV, HBO specifically. And I'd heard good things about this film, and so Roger and I decided to take a look at it to see how it compares with regular theatrical features, and at least in my opinion, it holds up very well indeed. Barbarians at the Gate is one of the more entertaining films I've seen this year. James Garner plays the real-life character of F. Ross Johnson, the chief executive officer of RJR Nabisco, the multi-billion-dollar company that produces everything from Oreos to Triscuits to Camel cigarettes. In 1988, Johnson was persuaded to try to buy his own company in a massive leveraged buyout valued eventually at more than $20 billion. Here he explains to his bombshell wife, played by Leilani Ferrer, what this sort of financing is all about.
Basically, all a buyout means is that management, the team that runs the company, they buy out all the shareholders, and the company goes from being public to being private.
Doesn't that take a ton of money?
That's where the Kravis types come in. They help you borrow what you need against the assets of the company, and they use the business as collateral.
So it's just like mortgaging a house.
In order to do the buyout, Johnson needs money, big money, and he first turns to his friend Jim Robinson, the chairman of American Express, for help. Fred Dalton Thompson plays Robinson, whose company owns a big brokerage firm.
I mean, first you lay out the terms that you're looking for yourself in all this. And then you make the company's records available. Peter and his people go to work and come up with a proper bid for you to make.
A problem develops when Robinson's financing team isn't very good at the big buyout game. Their offer gets trumped by the masters of the game, the firm of Kohlberg, Kravis, and Roberts, led by the clever Henry Kravis, played with an icy precision here by Jonathan Pryce.
We have to be in on this, Peter. You understand? I didn't give this idea to Johnson just so he could send me an up-yours card.
The film develops real tension as the bidding escalates.
Ross Johnson's bid, his and Shearson's, is for $100 a share. That's an offer of $23 billion.
And KKR?
$94 a share. $21.6 billion.
That's quite a difference in price.
I'll give you a bigger one. The First Boston Group is prepared to offer between 105 and 118. That's $3 billion more than the Johnson offer.
Barbarians at the Gate benefits from a terrific script by Larry Gelbart, who explains things clearly and wittily with a great ear and an eye for detail, helped, of course, by the original reporting that led to a best-selling book by Brian Burrow and John Helyar. I enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the film. It's a little soft on Johnson's character. He's presented as basically a good guy, and I think it was a little more complex than that. But Barbarians at the Gate introduces the kind of characters that should have been as well drawn in the film adaptation of The Bonfire of the Vanities, but they weren't. It's a very good film, and you can see it this month and next month on HBO.
You know, Gene, I really enjoyed it, too. I liked one of the things that Gelbart did, and that is basically treat it as a comedy with Johnson constantly asking whether these guys aren't going to, you're not going to take away my airplanes, are you? That's really what he's thinking about, is the perks. And what I enjoyed about this film is, for all that I've read about leverage buyouts and so forth, I never really understood. It doesn't have anything to do with the product. It doesn't have anything to do with making cookies or cigarettes. It's all a financial game that these guys are playing, basically out of greed. And to think of the arrogance of thinking that you should be able to buy your own company using its money. In other words, as if because you want it to, the company will give itself to you. That's amazing.
Well, there would be people who would argue that there are certain inefficiencies in the marketplace that allow this to occur, and that can be debated, and that's, I think that's another story. But in terms of focusing on the personalities involved and the expertise that's involved, the one thing I liked about the film is that they showed that the guy who was running the American Express brokerage outfit, Peter Cohn, just was unmatched, out of his league. These guys, I mean, the KKR group was very, very sharp. I mean, you know, I enjoyed them not being played in a cartoon way, but having real talent.
This is a movie about adult issues and adult characters, and it was so refreshing to see these people operating at a level where the movie didn't condescend to the audience and accepted the fact that this was a serious subject.
Larry Gelbart is one of the best writers around. He makes it understandable. It's a lot of fun. And in terms of production values, Hey, this is not a step cousin.
It's a good-looking film.